The heck with it. We'll go. We are going live. Hey, we're live, Gray.
Oh, I gotta wipe the tears out my eyes, man.
Man.
Jesus.
You know what? We need to do we need to do a pre-live party or something like that. That way,
Yeah.
everyone knows why it is that we always start the show and we're laughing and stuff, like little schoolyard kids.
Yeah,
Hello,
pretty much.
everyone. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's good to see everyone. Let's see who we have. Oh man, we've got a whole bunch of you all here. Jules is here. Hello. Merry Christmas, by the way. You can see that
Yeah,
my
Merry
Christmas
Christmas.
tree is lit back there. Gray, where's your Christmas tree?
Oh, so I
Is
guess
it
I gotta
behind
get
your
one.
head? Move over. Is it behind your head?
No, that's where the Mega 3
Whoa.
was. Now I'm getting ready for another review that I gotta do, so I had to clear some space back there.
Really? Oh, there's no room for Christmas tree, huh? Come
I
on,
guess
man. Come
I
on,
guess
man.
I could
Come
probably
on,
put
man.
one, get rid of one of these lanterns and put a Christmas tree, a little mini
Yeah,
Christmas
man.
tree
You
there.
need to put up a Christmas tree, man. Even if it's a little tiny one. Linda, Bob, how you doing? How's everyone doing today? Yarn Preppers in the house. Jan, Deborah Calbert. I seen JT. There's Copernicus. How's everyone doing? Amazing Grandma. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what Gray has in mind for today's show. But let's say hello first to Forrest and Lady T Survival. How's everyone doing? How's everyone enjoying the first week of December? And of course, the Christmas season has commenced, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
Juju Mama, how are you doing? Tony, hello. I seen someone here earlier today, Gray, arguing about that 2 plus 2 does not equal 4, that it's 2 times 2 that equals 4.
What?
I don't know. I love looking at people chatting back and forth. No, I mean, it was just a play on words. Someone was saying, hey, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And they're like, no, it doesn't. 2 times 2 equals 4. But anyways, let's see. P Sheets 2004. Joe, how you doing? Tracy, hello. Cumbria Schultz, how are you doing? Oops is here. How are you? ID Prepper Gal, how are you doing? Let's see. Miss Worm says, I'm still doing Christmas shopping. Buy stuff from Yarn. Oh, if you're still doing Christmas shopping, buy stuff from Yarn Prepper. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, do you have a Yarn Prepper? Make sure you put up your site, all right, or your link. We are using one of the little scrub pads that Yarn Prepper made for us last year, and we've been using that for a while now, and it is still good as new. I love that little thing, for doing dishes and stuff and cleaning the counters and stuff. Jeffrey Linquist, how you doing? The Celtic Grandma is here.
I learned something today. Rudy.
Linda wants to know if you have your cup of water. That way you can open your mouth during the live show.
It's a special cup of water. I mean, come on.
Okay, that's it, man. I quit. Gray, you take
it. All right. So now we moved Rudy out. So we're going to have a very, very
wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. All right, man. Let's start the show. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in. Take it away, Gray.
Well, I do want to mention one thing I learned today. I forget where was I on? I think I was watching someone's live. It might have been Michelle's, because Becky was over there too. I don't know. I didn't know Miss Worm has a channel with ghost stories. I was like, what? I had to check it out. Now the wife is like subscribe and listening to all the ghost stories that Miss Worm has on there. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Is Miss Worm over 1,000 yet?
Yes, she did hit 1,000.
Outstanding. That's great. Congratulations, Copernicus. That is awesome, man. That is it makes me happy. Hey, Gray, have you heard YouTube? Now you only need 800 to become monetized.
Yeah, they're relaxing the restrictions. Of course, they're not relaxing the restrictions because they care about us. They're relaxing the restrictions because they want more money.
yeah, absolutely. But in a way, it's kind of good for the content creator that wants to get out there and do something that they enjoy doing, like Miss Worm. She enjoys telling stories and make a couple of bucks doing it. I think that's a great thing.
I think no one should ever harp on anybody in regards to trying to make a little money off YouTube because of the time and the effort and the work that you put into your channel.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. It's everyone's time has a certain amount of value, right? So your time is valuable. Obviously, more to you so than anyone else, in my opinion. So if you can extract a little bit of value from doing something that you enjoy doing, it's a win-win because nobody is forced to listen to your channel or click on it or anything like that. They do it because they want to. So yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Go ahead and talk for a second. There's something I want to show you because I know you didn't watch it because you would have said something. So while you're doing that, I'm going to find it real quick on my channel.
Well, I'm just going to say hello to everyone here. Let me see. Rakamas, how are you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. The coffee guy is here. How are you doing, coffee guy? Good to see you. Troll is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, remember that this Friday we're going to be doing on this channel, the Alaska Prepper channel, we're going to be doing part 2 of the Christmas Bash giveaway. Where last Friday we did part 1 where it was giveaways that were being done by sponsors of the channel, to where this Friday we're going to be giving away some things that I'm going to be providing, in addition to one community member who sent me some Amazon gift cards that I'm going to put to use to give away some of the stuff that he wanted to give away. All right, so we're going to do that this Friday, same time as always, 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So hope to see you there. We're going to be giving away some kid stuff also, some children's toys. Please don't email me telling me that you want to donate stuff because I don't want to take donations. I'm taking those donations that the gentleman, our community member, sent me because he sent it to me without me even knowing. So I already have the stuff. But this is really my part where I spend a little bit of my hard-earned cash to give back to you all right? So please don't do that. I've already had a few people approach me saying they wanted to donate this and donate that. It's not that I'm not appreciative of you doing that, but it's something that I really want to do for our community. So hope to see you there, and bring your kids because like I said, I want to be giving away some children's bicycles. I want to be giving away some Legos, things that are fun for kids. That way they can get into the mode of, hey, prepping is fun but necessary. So take it away, Gray.
I just saw Edgar Clay says, luring me in with a catchy title. Welcome to the apocalypse. That's the goal, man. That's the goal. So it works.
Well, Gray, do you want to explain to the people again what we mean by welcome to the apocalypse?
Well, I mean, basically it's to disclose, to learn. Basically, we're sharing information and disclosing information. That's the Greek version of the original translation of the apocalypse. A lot of people get it twisted and think when we say apocalypse, we're thinking, it's the end of times, which is biblically, but there's a lot more to the word apocalypse. I suggest to everyone on any video that you watch, or even things that we discuss, is to do a little research, and you'll kind of get the gist of why we say welcome to the apocalypse here on the channel.
There you go.
All right, so this has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I wanted to show this to you, Rudy, because I know you had to have missed it. So I just did a recent prepping haul, payday prepping haul, whatever you want to call it, on the channel. But I put a little clip in just for you to see if you would catch it. So I'm going to show it to you now.
I watched that prepping haul that you did, and I do believe I remember you mentioning me on there, not once but twice.
Possibly,
I can't remember the exact context of it, but do you want me to put this up now? What you just put up?
Yeah, I'm gonna just play that little quick segment. You won't hear the volume, but this is like a winter prepper haul. But I wanted to show this part here because everybody knows Rudy has this big thing for avocados, and look how cheap these avocados
I remember that.
are.
Thanks, Gray. There goes your Christmas present.
5 for $5, man. I mean, I'm assuming you would probably never find that good of a deal. And then
I'm taking it off. I'm not looking at that anymore.
Oh,
no, and you know what the thing is, Gray? And I remember watching. I was actually going to leave a comment. I was like, I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. The thing is that the ones that we have here too are like little hockey pucks. They're like that big, and I refuse to buy them. But let me give some of you out there who like avocados, but don't really have them available locally where you live, a hint. At Costco, they sell crushed avocados in a small cup. I think it's a little 4-ounce cup, I believe. And all the ingredients is crushed avocados with sea salt. That's it. There's no preservative. There's nothing. And that's what I buy. Why? Because they last a lot longer and they're more reliable. You can see whether it's good or bad just by looking at it. And I've never come across a bad one except for one time where the seal was open, so air was able to get in. So those taste really good. They're very convenient. I think they turn out to be, they're kind of pricey. You get 16 cups, and I believe it's like $13. So they're almost $1 per little cup. But like I said, they're very convenient. They're very reliable. They taste really good. Only 2 ingredients, avocados and sea salt. So that's what I go with. I never buy those little hockey puck avocados. I hate them because they're not reliable and they're so darn expensive up here.
Roger that, brother.
Look at that, Mama Preps. Look at this, man.
Wow,
59 cents.
That's a deal.
Awesome. Look at this, the 49 state. How you doing, the 49 state? $6 for 1 mango in Anchorage.
Woo!
Incredible.
I get those for free in the backyard of my friend's house.
I'll tell you what, Gray. I don't know what you have in store for us today, but since we're telling stories, we might as well tell stories.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was at the commissary here the other day, and I was looking around. What did I go there for? I went there to get some of the ingredients for Little Miss Alaska Prepper's birthday dinner, right? Obviously, her birthday is early December, so she always has the same thing for her birthday dinner, and that's Dominican sancocho. So went to the commissary to pick up some ingredients, and I was looking around. Man, I do not know how people can eat nowadays. Even at the commissary, where it has been historically low prices. I remember when I was in the military, when I was young in the military, I used to be able to fill my entire cupboard, our entire cupboards in our kitchen with like $50. And you go to the commissary now, and I see prices of just basic items like butter up 60% than what it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. Incredible, man. Prices are not going back down, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there's a rumor going around too. I mean, I think this was it last year, the year before, the Dollar Tree went from $1 to $1.25, and rumor has it they're going to $1.50 now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, does it surprise anyone when in the year between the year 2020, right? I just talked about this on one of my videos today. I don't remember which one it was, but between the year 2020 and today, the United States government, i.e., the Federal Reserve, has created 40% of all of the money, i.e., fiat currency, that has ever existed in our nation since its founding. How do people think we're not going to have inflation? And what I mean by inflation, I mean it by the way that the layman deems the word inflation, prices of things going up. How do people think that prices of things going up is not going to continue to happen? It's going to continue to go up. It doesn't matter what anyone tells you. It doesn't matter what the government says. Prices are going to continue to go up because 2 + 2 = 4. All right? That's it. Simple as that. Mathematics.
Yeah. So I don't know. We had the first one. I just want your thoughts on this. It's when did this happen? It happened a few days ago. I think it was Sunday, or maybe before that. No, I think it was Sunday. But I can't remember. I just want to get your thoughts on it itself. I mean, you're more than welcome to bring it up whenever you like. A lot of people have been talking about it, and I'm just curious your thoughts.
Oh, hey, great. Let me know when you want me to put something up. That way I put it up. Let me explain, ladies and gentlemen. What happens is for those of you that maybe are joining here for the first time, is 1 week, like today, we're having this live stream, talking about the apocalypse, the reveal, on my channel, and next week we'll have it on Gray's channel. But since we're having it on my channel today, then I'm the one that's controlling the background. So if Gray's going to share something with all of us, I have to actually, put it up on the board. And this is it right here. So that's why maybe if there's a little hesitation every now and then, it's because I'm paying attention to the comments and I'm not looking at what's down there. But what do we got here, Gray?
So this is the whole scenario that just played out not too long ago.
Oh, yeah,
it's within the last couple of days. Yeah, the U.S. warships and commercial vessels attacking the Red Sea. And the weird thing is after reading this article, I mean, there was really no damage done. It was just the act of it. And of course, the Houthis in Yemen, and of course, Iran-backed militants are the ones that are doing this with the drones and whatnot. But they did this in regards to the fact that it's the premise that they still did it, and there was no recourse. They said supposedly they fired some things towards Israel or whatnot, or towards Gaza and stuff like that. but there was really no bombardment towards Iran or anything specific towards Yemen and stuff like that, from my understanding. At least last time I read. And it's just like, it seems people are, other countries are getting away with a lot more these days with the current government structure that's in Washington and DC right now.
I mean, what can I say? I mean, I agree with everything you said there. We have a government, unfortunately, that is not respected. In my opinion, not by very many countries around the world. It's not respected. I was very surprised, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure if you heard about this or not, but do you remember here that in Argentina, they have elected a new president, and this president is for freedom. I really like this guy. I forget his name, but I really like him because he is honest and he calls it like it is. And he doesn't care about what anyone thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he loves his country. To me,
They're
that is like the number one thing. You have to love your country.
Yeah, they're calling him the Argentinian Trump.
Yes. And one of the things that he said that surprised me is that he is getting out of the BRICS nations arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
Because last year it was during the BRICS summit this summer. Argentina was one of the countries that was accepted to join the BRICS on the 1st of January of 2024. And it made sense to me that Argentina would join the BRICS because they have had financial calamity for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is mainly because of the Federal Reserve note, mainly because of the policies enacted by the Federal Reserve of heightening interest rates, right? And all of the debt that they've had in US dollars. So it surprised me that he said that he's going to align Argentina with the US dollar and get out of the BRICS agreement. And I kind of feel bad for Argentina because they've gone through so much bad stuff. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, now this is how I feel. In the end, the United States is going to be okay. We are going to go through a lot of pain, but in the end, we are going to come out of this a better nation, a stronger nation of patriots. All right. We're going to go back to our morals. We're going to go back to what our founding fathers envisioned this country to be. And I think that the main reason for that are two things, because we still have patriots in this country that love this country, but mainly because we have the Constitution of the United States of America, which was probably one of the most genius documents that was ever written by our founding fathers, I would say, in the history of mankind. Because it has allowed America, which in my opinion was an experiment. Before America, before the United States of America, no other country in the history of mankind had freedom. Think about it. They had kings and queens. Mm-hmm. That's it. They had serfs. They didn't really have freedom like we do here, which is protected for us by the Constitution of the United States. So we are going to be all right in the end. Like I said, we're going to go through a lot of pain. But man, for those countries that are going to lag behind us, like Argentina now, who's going to align with the dollar, they're going to go through a lot more pain than what we're going to go through. It is what it is.
Yeah, I wanted to add there that we're the only country that's built on each one of our states are sovereign in itself. You know what I mean? Versus, being like when you look at the United States, you think, okay, we have the federal government.
It's not anymore. It's not anymore. The thing is, Gray, the United States of America, as it is named today. Mm-hmm. Today, the name of this country is the United States of America.
Right.
It's not what it always was. It used to be these United States of America. And that one word, Gray, changes everything.
I agree.
These United States of America means that we, the states, are all independent and sovereign, and that we are the ones that employ the federal government, not the other way around. Now, when they changed that to the United States of America, it changed everything around. Whereas now the federal government is the central governing force of the nation. And I would say that the states are like proxies of the federal government, because pretty much the federal government has put itself in a position where most states need the federal government more than what the federal government needs the states. And in other words, like Alaska, Alaska, and I love Alaska, and you all know that I love Alaska, but the truth is the truth. Alaska is what I would call like a welfare state, meaning that it takes more from the federal government than what it puts in. And I mean, you can go to the university here in Alaska. They get a lot of money. They get a lot of money from the federal government. So, do you think that if an institution gets a lot of money from the federal government, do you think that they're going to do what the federal government asked them to do or not? That's easy to answer. Of course, they're going to toe the line if they want to stay in business. So, things have changed. It's just like by name, on paper, by name, we are a republic. It's what we are, right? But are we really a republic in actuality, in real life? Are we really a republic? We're not even a democracy, all right? Because if you think that your vote counts, then you really need to get slapped upside the head and wake up. So, by name, we're a lot of really good things, but we have gone away from those, our founding fathers envision, this country to be. And we've gone away from those things. And I can't say that I really blame the people, but I can say that, yes, we are to blame. You can play it both ways. But again, it's just a cycle, ladies and gentlemen. The average country lasts, what is it, Gray? About how many years is it that the average country lasts?
250 years.
250 years. And what are we at?
249.
There you go. 249 or 46 or 40, something like that, right?
I thought we only had another year or so left.
Oh, yeah, we are. 1776.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're almost there. And it's just a cycle, and it's going to go ahead and start over again. And it's like I said, a cycle doesn't mean that right at 250, we're going to have Armageddon. It might be 248. It might be 256. It might be 260. It's just the average. But we're definitely in that time frame. So get prepared.
Yeah, there's I was reading somewhere in the chat, someone said that they were sick of America and that they were going to move to South America. And it made me think of that article, or that, God, what was that website that said the majority of the population of America was going to lose its GDP, and a lot of people were going to move south. Instead of people migrating to the United States, everybody's going to migrate towards like Mexico and stuff like that. I just can't think of the name of it. It's basically was claiming that in 2025 that we would lose a certain amount of our population and whatnot.
Deagle,
what was that?
The Deagle report.
Yeah, Deagle. Yeah, thank you for that.
And that we would lose about 2/3 of our population. It's a terrible scenario, and if it plays out, then I don't know what it is that is going to cause that loss of life, but whatever it is will be something drastic.
The crazy thing about that report is a lot of people look at the report but don't realize where they got that information from. Literally, like DOD and other government agencies.
Yep, that's who heads it. I believe it's the FBI who heads that report.
Scary thought, man.
Yeah, it is a scary thought, but in a way not, because you know what, Gray, we can only do what we can do, right? So you do what you can do, and then after that, you let God take the wheel. And listen, if it's time for you to go, then die an easy death. How do you die an easy death? You die an easy death by doing everything that you know is to be right. And then after that, what else could you have done? There's nothing else you could have done, right? So you just do what is right. Love your fellow human being. Make sure that you take care of your family the best that you can. Be good with your creator. What else can you do? How much can you prepare? Live your life. Try to live it in a way, in a manner that that is righteous, right?
Agreed.
Be a good person. Just be a good person. The golden rule, right? Just treat people how you would want to be treated. Yeah, if that happens, it'll have to be something incredible that happened to get us to 1/3 of the population that we have now. And I can see a scenario like that playing out where people are fleeing the United States of America. I can see it, of course, with a nuclear exchange, if that was one case. But you know what? Something that many people don't think about, I can also see that happening, Gray, with a financial collapse of our monetary system.
That's where I'm focusing on.
Yeah, well, the thing is, most people don't realize that a financial collapse would be very devastating to life The reason being is for one fact, and that fact is that if you are a potato farmer, and this is the example I love to use. If you are a potato farmer, you are not going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning so that you can be out on the field at 4 in the morning to work a 16-hour day for nothing. You're not going to do it. No matter how much you love your fellow man, you're not going to do it because you won't be able to do it. Because without good money, you cannot get resources. 76%, I believe, of everything that we consume here in the United States of America is imported. You can fact check me on the number. I think it's around 76%, 70%.
You're pretty close.
So let me ask you this. If our money is no good, right, and or is greatly devalued, what countries are going to do business with us? We already have a bunch of countries that are interested in joining the BRICS nations, which themselves are trying to make a currency that they can all use, that's interconnected to all of them, that they can use. So how are we going to expect to be able to continue to import stuff from other countries by printing paper out of thin air and telling them, hey, here, you can trust that this will be good when you need it, when in fact we don't really produce that much? I'm going to go ahead and cut this off real quick, all right, Grace, so I don't run away with it. But remember earlier today I was telling you that 40% of all the money that has ever existed in the United States of America was created in the last 3 years. Okay.
Right.
That would be okay. There is a scenario where there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but that scenario does not exist. That scenario would be that if in the last 3 years, the United States has printed 40% of all the money that ever existed, the scenario would be that in addition to that, our GDP, meaning our production, increased by 40 or 50%. So if our production, let's say, increased by 50%, right, and we only printed 40%, that means that would be deflationary. That means that we are producing more than what we printed, so the price of things would actually come down. But that's not the case. We did not get production up 40 or 50% in the last 3 years like we have with money. So what country, if you were a country, would you take the American dollar in trade for your flip-flops that you had somebody actually making with their sweat? No, that's just the question. If you were a business, would you accept the currency of a different business when that currency holds only the value of the paper that is printed on for the goods that you yourself as a business had to actually produce with labor, with sweat? It's an easy question to answer.
Did you, being that you're talking about BRICS nations, did you see that Brazil is going to be joining OPEC in 2024?
I didn't see that, but it doesn't surprise me. And since you bring up OPEC, did you read where the UAE, United Arab Emirates, is no longer accepting Federal Reserve notes for oil purchases?
That I did.
That's not very old. That's just here within the last few days.
Yeah.
People don't understand what a huge deal that is. I'm telling you,
it's massive. And matter of fact, I think one of their princes had also said that if we were to get rid of all fossil fuels, that we would be living in the dark ages. I think he had stated that in a thing he had said.
Yeah, from COP28.
Yeah, from COP28.
I read that earlier today as well. Someone asked here, who is interviewing who? It must be their first time here. This is more like a collaboration, ladies and gentlemen. It's not really anyone interviewing anyone, although Gray Man is the point man on this. He's the one that comes up with the things that are interesting, because I'm a very boring person, and every once in a while I'll throw something in there that maybe I thought up of.
Yeah, it's I tried to explain it to people as well. It's just, this is just me and Rudy just talking about different topics that are headlining in the news and just random things. And we used to do this on the phone for hours, so we decided to make it a show.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely, man. So you want me to, can I bring something up, Gray? I got something to share, and I know that if,
you got something.
Man, look at that. It's already half an hour into the show. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have something to share that blew me away when I saw this. So when I show you this, please, ladies and gentlemen in the chats, is this real or not? Put real if it's real and not real if it's not real, because in all honesty, I'm blown away by this. Check this out. And I'm going to go ahead and read through this, okay? Let me get this first real quick. That way
Let me get my water ready.
Get your water ready. Get your water bottle ready, okay? And let's go ahead and put this up.
Wow.
Is that something or what?
That. Man.
So like I said, put real if it's real, ladies and gentlemen, or not real if it's not real. Maybe this is a maybe this site is connected to the Babylon Bee, although I know that it's not. Right? And what this says is, and I'll try not to get in trouble, all right, with the tube over here, but it says that a report from Canada, right, from their government, reveals that they euthanize on average 36 people daily throughout all of 2022. And there is a part down on this article that is really disgusting. I'm only going to read a little bit of it. That way you can get the gist of it. And if I remember, I'll leave the link on a pinned comment once this video processes through. But it says here that a report has revealed that Canada is now seeing an average of 36 citizens being euthanized by the government, ladies and gentlemen, daily. Wow. According to Health Canada's recent report on government-assisted, you know that word, euthanasia made up 4.1% of deaths nationwide last year, a significant increase from 3.3%. Hot dog, that is a 33% increase from one year to the other. Incredible. So the 2022 report on medical assistance in, you know, the word that they don't like you to say also, which was released last October, revealed that euthanasia has claimed the lives of an estimated 45,000 Canadians since it was legalized back in 2016. Some 1,018 elected to be euthanized via government-assisted in 2016. So the first year that they offered this service, 1,018 took the government up on it. And by 2022, that figure is now up to 13,241. I've asked before, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone to tell me, what is it that governments are good at? Well, it looks like this government here has found something that they are very good at, because they're now doing it at tenfold plus what they started doing it the first year that this became available as a choice. Incredible. And people actually think that governments care about them. If governments cared about you, they would actually try to help you through something instead of telling you, hey, you're homeless, go ahead, get in this pod and you'll feel really good until you don't feel anymore. Many people denied, now listen to this, incredible. Many people that were denied to be assisted by government to be euthanized were not denied because of some kind of a problem or they answered a question wrong or something. They got denied because the government was overwhelmed because they didn't have enough euthanasia beds to fill, right? That's why they were denied. Okay, by March 17 of 2024, so next year, people with mental illnesses as their sole underlying medical condition will be eligible for government euthanasia. You know, I remember reading a little bit of history back from World War II from the guy with the little mustache, the little guy with the mustache, that one of the things that they started doing was taking children from families, and the children were children that had mental illnesses, and they were taking them from families and putting them in camps for their own good, right? This is why they told the family. Well, I think you probably know what they were doing to those children. And it was not making their lives better. It was, in fact, taking their lives away. In my opinion, this is close to being the same thing. I haven't seen anyone here say if this is true or not.
Oh, a bunch did. There was a bunch of people that wrote true. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. I guess I let it go by. So this is true. Yes, this is real. Okay. Unfortunately, I I really hope and pray that this is not real, because sometimes you get caught up on reading articles and stuff, and you run into something that's not. This is the last part of this that I'm going to go ahead and cover. In one case, a Canadian Forces veteran, so a veteran from the military in Canada, who was seeking treatment for PTSD and a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, was shocked when he was offered euthanasia by the Veterans Affairs of Canada. Several
That's
sources
nuts.
confirmed that the combat veteran never raised the issue nor asked about euthanasia and was deeply disturbed by the suggestion. Man, sometimes there are some things, Gray, that leave me speechless. And you know what? The unfortunate thing is that when I did read that, I wasn't left speechless. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can believe that after seeing the things that I've seen in the past several years.
It's almost to the point, like here in the United States, these bills that they pass, Congress, legislation and stuff like that they pass. Some of it's like 6, 7, 8,000 pages long, and most people don't read it. If you're on this side or you're that side, you sign it into law, and you don't care what it says. You know what I mean? Like matter of fact, I have something that I thought was interesting. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up on the screen here. Let me add it to the thing. They passed a bill which was in the infrastructure bill, which I thought was kind of funny because there's a lot of weird stuff in the infrastructure bill.
It always happens, man.
And no one paid attention to it. And this is supposed to be focusing on something else, but the government will use it for ill purposes. And you could bring it up now, brother.
Okay, bring it up.
So it says legislation mandates kill switch in all cars starting 2026, man. And it's supposed to be a legislation for drunk driving, right? For drunk drivers. So that
sorry
you're good.
Yeah.
So that they save people, you know what I mean? Something like that. They can turn off the car if someone's drunk and stuff like that. But we all know that this will be something that would be used inappropriately. You know what I mean? You do something they don't like, they're going to shut you down, your vehicle, literally. It's crazy. It says, snuck inside the recently passed $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, a proposal to have a lockout kill switch device to be installed in all new cars. This is no joke and has already passed in Congress and in the House. This was back in October 20th. It says a quote from Law Enforcement Today commented that the infrastructure bill includes a drunk driving kill switch in all cars. Some worry government will abuse it. Drunk driving appears to be cover for what that can occur. The possibility for abuse is clearly something that bears watching. This could also give access to outsiders with spyware and hackers.
Yeah,
crazy
absolutely.
Stuff,
well, the thing is that we're too far gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that I sound like a broken record. Okay, I sound like a broken record. We have to have a total collapse of the system. It's the only way that we can start over with a new system that's just, fair, and honest. But it's true. Because how is it that a bill or a law, whatever you want to call it, how is it that a bill can even be introduced into the House when that bill in itself violates the Constitution of the United States? How is that possible? We have most of the people there are lawyers or bankers. The people that serve in Congress, they're either lawyers or bankers, most of them. We have mostly lawyers who serve in Congress. We have a few doctors. But how is it that a bill can be introduced that does not pass the litmus test for being constitutional?
Agreed.
Just that alone. I'm not a constitutional scholar, but that alone right there violates your Fourth Amendment right. And it also violates your Fifth Amendment right, due process.
Absolutely.
I mean, they are going to be using technology in order to see what you're doing whenever you're in that vehicle for whatever purpose. It doesn't matter, right? And then they're going to be using technology to shut you down without due process just because of what technology told the person on the other side that it thinks that you're doing something wrong. That's a violation of the Fourth and Fifth Amendment. So why in the world would it even get through? Why would it even become a bill? That's the problem. We have too many people in Congress. We have too many people in the Senate that have prostituted themselves to the top. They take money from companies. They take money from the WEF, from the WHO, whoever the hell it is that they take money from, in order to become tyrants upon their own people. Look at what happened. I'm not sure if you saw this video. Rule 2.13 in New York State.
That was the
Look at
second
the
video you
tyrant.
put out today, right?
Yeah, look at that tyrant in New York State.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much takes away your freedoms. It
Yep.
pretty much tells you we will give you freedom when we believe you deserve freedom. That's exactly what that bill is. I do not know how in the world there are still people living in New York State. And if you live in New York State, I'm sorry. But the truth is the truth, right? Now, if that is a hoax, if it's not true that that rule was put forth and passed, because it's being challenged in court now, thankfully, but it's still passed. How is it that you can allow a bill like that to pass and not have uproar? I mean, uproar, not have a boycott of the state. No one should be going to work in that state. That's my opinion. But no one should be going to work in the state of New York while that bill is still a bill that passed, where they can take away your freedoms anytime they want for any reason. All they have to say is, "Oh, you coughed? Oh, come on, give me your kids." You have to go to this camp. Literally, Gray.
No, I
literally,
hear you.
they
I
can
hear
say
you.
that.
I believe it. It's you get the
Incredible.
sniffles. It reminds me of a B movie that we played on Netflix about right after the the Charlie Victor, as I like to call it, when that was going on. It was I think it was whatever it was. But if you had the sniffles, all of a sudden you had government agents at your house just locking you down and taking you off to a camp.
I mean, it's just a way to condition you to do what they want. Remember during the health crisis? God forbid if you were in a store and you coughed. Oh my goodness. I mean, every once in a while I'll swallow, when you swallow the wrong way
Mm-hmm.
and you have a coughing attack. Oh my goodness, that happened to me a couple of times in a store. Oh my, thank goodness that, that people's stares couldn't go through you, and entice you or something. I'd be like, oh my goodness. But that's what they do to condition you. And the thing is people in general want someone to tell them what to do. It's the truth. I was doing a job with someone a while back, and I'm not going to say who it was. I'm not going to throw them under the bus here, but I was doing a job with someone a while back, and it was a construction project. And I would be working along, and I'd be like, yeah, we're going to do this, and this, and that. And I'd say, hey, go do this for now, and do this, do A, B, and C. And I'd be working on something else, and there I'm working, and then you know how you feel like someone's looking at you.
Right? I do. Yeah,
All
yeah.
Right, so here, after a while, I feel like someone's staring at me, and I turn around and I see him staring at me, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm waiting for you to tell me what to do." I'm like, "How long have you been standing there, watching me work?" He says, "About half an hour." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you just go pick up garbage?" I was like, "Look, there's garbage all over the place. Why don't you just get a garbage bag and pick it up?" He's like, "Yeah, but you didn't tell me to do that." It's like I said, people in general want to be told how to live their lives. It gives them a warm and fuzzy inside, unfortunately. Or what do you got up here?
Oh, well, I'll get that coming. Mama Preps. Yes, it was Songbird. I think it was that. Yeah, I think you're right. Mama
Songbird,
Preps.
that movie.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to add one more thing before we move on to this here is just imagine if they had that capability with the vehicles, as you see our government's pushing more and more AI, and AI starts controlling these little gadgets and whatnot, and the AI deems that, hey, I'm going to shut them all down. You know what I mean? Just imagine that. Then you have no vehicles whatsoever, unless
It's
you
not
have
even that, Gray. Not even that, Gray. Just imagine if someone hacked into it, and you were in the interstate, you were in the highway, and they just shut you down.
Yeah, or a foreign entity. I mean, it could be anything.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong with that.
I was I saw this. This was about a month or so ago, and then this just happened again. The other day. In this video, you might want to mute it so we don't have to worry about the audio. You know what I mean? Because you never know what's in the audio.
Okay. You want me to put this up now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and run it, but
okay.
And I can explain what's in the video.
Well, go ahead and I'll give us a preview. Go ahead and give us a synopsis.
So, a lot of people have been watching the border. We always hear about illegals and gotaways and all the people that are coming across. This is the second wave that I have seen of basically young age Chinese males coming across the border in large groups. And they're military age males. You know what I mean? The majority of them. It's crazy how many are coming, and they're letting them in, no problem. Hey, just come on in,
Yep.
keep it rolling. And it just makes me think that why? And I get
I know
China in general, what's going on in China and how, but how you might want to come to the United States, but how are they all roughly the same age? They're that military age, that look. It just, that blows me away, man. And when I saw this video,
listen, Gray, you know why? You know why?
Oh, I know why. I
We
know
all know
personally
why.
why.
We all know why. It's just the average person doesn't want to say why.
Exactly.
Right? Listen, this is the truth, man. I think everyone here probably knows this. This administration is owned by China, and is owned by Russia or Ukraine, whatever it is. This administration is owned by China. And it's not just this administration. It's not just the right or the left. It's none of that. It's that a lot of people in our government are owned by other countries. I mean, what was her name? Feinstein, the senator.
Dianne
She passed away
Feinstein.
not too long ago, right?
Yep.
I'm not trying to speak bad about anyone that's passed away, but this is the truth. Her chauffeur, and you can look this up, her chauffeur of 25 plus years, after being her chauffeur for 25 years, who was a Chinese national, was found to be a spy after 25 years. Now, being a chauffeur is probably one of the most intimate jobs that you're going to have for someone, especially after 25 years. Take a look at that. Swalwell, that guy from California, Senator Swalwell, I think the guy that farted on TV. That guy. He was having an affair with a Chinese national. He was having an affair with a Chinese national that was a spy. Okay, what's the name of the majority leader for the GOP?
You talking about Lindsey Graham? No, it's not Lindsey Graham. It's the what is his name?
The guy that's got that cheek that looks like Fat Bastard from that movie. What's his name?
You're talking about the Republican, right? You talk about the one that had the brain fart where he was just
that guy. Well, I forget his name. If somebody here knows his name, let us know his name. He's like 81 years old or something.
Yeah,
Mitch McConnell. That gentleman is married to a Chinese national. You know who her father is? He is the CEO of a very big bank that's run by the CCP.
It's crazy.
And you're asking me, why is this happening?
I mean, look at them. They're all, I mean, where are the women and children? That's what I would expect. Families. You know what I mean? If they're running away from communism, it'd be families. It just looks quite interesting.
Right now, this country is paying some of its debts. That's what they're doing. And in my opinion, these people are going to be used for bad things. Unfortunately, I mean, what good can come of this? What good can come of this? I don't know. I mean, what good can come of letting 8 million people in the country unlawfully? And the only good that will come of it is for one party to get a new voting base, and that's all it is. I mean, it's just the truth. It has nothing to do with what your ideology is personally or anything like that. It's just the truth. It's just the way that things being done, and that's why I say the system has to collapse. It's the only way that will save our way of life is if the system collapses and we can start over again with fresh people that actually care about their country. I think there ought to be a test before you go to become a congressman or a senator. and that test is a lie detector test. Do you love this country? Are you willing to die for this country? Because if you're willing to die for this country, you should be one of those people in the front lines when you say, let's go to war. Not sitting behind a desk, sending people to their death, but should be one of those people in the front lines.
Agreed. So we're going to dive into a little bit about emergency preparedness. Yeah, I agree. Scripted collapse. You folks, the reason that you watch my channel, you watch Rudy channels or other channels like ours, is because you guys know, you guys know what's coming. You guys know what's right in the corner. You know what I mean? Rudy has said it. I have said it. And I would figure a lot of people would say it, is we all pray and hope that nothing ever happens. We're just prepping because, for whatever reasons that we're prepping for, everybody has their individual reasons for why they prep. But we always hope that nothing serious will ever happen. But it's just, it seems every time you turn around, it seems like we're getting closer and closer to that point where we're going off the edge.
Here you go, Gray. Let me go ahead and read this from Susan Stokes. Susan says, families, we don't need this, Susan says. Families wanting a better life because of poor living conditions is one thing, but not this. And what I would add to that, and I agree with this 100% with what Susan said, what I would add to that is, however, even if you are a poor family seeking a better life, make sure that you do it the right way and come in the front door. Nothing good comes easy. And all of these people that are coming in through the back door unlawfully, they're not going to get anything good come out of it. Right? They themselves are going to end up leaving this country because of the mess that this country has become because of their acts of coming here unlawfully. There's going to be a point where there's nothing that we can do because we are so indebted that we just can't afford a penny to go towards anything else except for our interest on our debt and those payments that are mandatory by law, like Social Security, pensions, and stuff like that. So there's going to come a point where the government is not going to be able to do anything for anyone, especially those that come in here unlawfully. If you want to come here, but have something to offer and come through the front door.
Agreed. So the lead in for this next, it's kind of a dual article. I kind of combined the two. And it also, I'm going to reference something that happened a week or two ago that I was going to bring up on one of our lives. But why I always suggest to people to have some sort of, emergency bag and just being prepped in general. Is there so many things that can happen, and they've been happening. It's been a lot of this lately in regards to train derailments, chemical spills, fires, all kinds of crazy stuff. Rudy, if you can throw that up on the screen. Just recently, Greenville had a gas leak, and residents were asked to evacuate. This is in Ohio, and they were asked to self-evacuate to a natural gas leak. Because they were worried about an explosion. We've seen lots of gas explosions lately. I don't know what's going on. The infrastructure bill's not paying for what's supposed to be paying for. But and then in La Porte, Texas, they just had a chemical emergency that prompted a shelter in place. And that's why there's certain types of I did a video, I think, 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, in regards to why I have a gas mask. Because you just never know what's going to happen in your area. How many chemical plants are near you? How many, facilities that have something, if something goes sideways, that you're going to need to either evac or, need some sort of equipment to protect you and your family. But I wanted to show these two just because it kind of solidifies what we preach, which is emergency preparedness, because these people that were dealing with these two situations, as well as the Michigan explosion, I think a week or so ago, gives credit to why being prepared is such an important thing for folks out there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%, Gray. And what some people don't understand, especially those that will not follow a channel that has the word prepper in it, because there's a lot of people that will not follow a channel because it has the word prepper on it, is that most preparations are used for everyday normal things than for the end of the world. So, for example, and I think you were talking about it during your last live stream, I think. You were saying something like, listen, most preparations are used by normal people who maybe lose their job or maybe fall ill and can't work for a certain period of time. It's those things that you use on a daily basis that you can turn to, and instead of putting your capital into those things like food, like like medicine, whatever, you can put your capital towards those things that you really need, like rent, car payment, gasoline, stuff like that. It's just a way to ease the pain while you transition from either one job to another, or while you get better to be able to go back to work. Most preparations are used for that.
It's a simple insurance plan.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Can bad things happen, like in Palestine, Ohio, East Palestine, where they had that burn off, whatever, for whatever reason? Yes, things like that can happen, and your preparations can definitely help you with that. Gas mask, like you were talking about, great. Also, water filtration. I mean, people were buying water filtration systems from that area like crazy. And most would say, well, that's a good thing. I would say not really, because they should have already had it. right?
Absolutely. 100%.
It's like going to the store when people start panic buying and you join the crowd of panic buying. Why did you not have it? And why did you go to Disneyland or Disney World for the last 5 years in a row and not forsake and and not foregone one of those trips to make sure that your family had the preparations that they needed just for basic stuff, right? Just for basic stuff. If you should do a test, like right now, I can guarantee you 100% right now that if I lost power today and I could not go to the store, I could not go anywhere for a month, I would be okay with everything, with power generation, with food, with medicine, with water, even, right? With gas to run a generator in case I need to. I would be okay. Can you say that? And the thing is, it's different for different people because we live in different parts of the world, right? There's different priorities that I have here in Alaska than what I'm sure you have, Gray, living in Florida, right?
Absolutely.
But you don't have to do say, okay, I'm not prepped unless I have a month's worth of stuff where I don't have to go anywhere for a month. No, start with one day. Start with one day. Can I stay home for one day and provide myself everything and my family everything that we need, even down to flushing water in a toilet, or taking care number two some other way and providing water for us to cook and to do the regular things that we need to do on an everyday basis? Can you do it for one day? Start there, ladies and gentlemen, and work your way up. So yeah. I mean,
It's
people
it,
look yeah, people look at preppers like you're crazy until you need to be prepared, and then usually by then it's too late.
I got a comment on my pantry haul video. Someone had wrote, thank you, Kim. Someone had wrote on my pantry haul, they were looking at the background of my shelving and all the food that I have, and they're like, man, this guy has a grocery store in his house. Personally, I took that as a compliment.
Heck
I
yes,
took
absolutely.
that as a compliment, man. I was like, heck yeah, I got a grocery store in my house, man. If I'd had to leave my house for 6 months because things have gone crazy outside, that's awesome. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
I thought it was like a jab at first, and we had gotten into a conversation with the person because I do read it and get engaged into a lot of my comments in my section, be it good or bad. And he actually turned out to be a nice person. He was like, man, I respect you for worrying about your family, and you seem like a great man. I applaud you. And I was like, I appreciate that, man. Because at first I thought you were, he was meaning it in a mean way, but he meant it in an actual good way. Like, hey, man, you're doing a good job kind of thing. So I was
Hey,
very
Gray.
happy.
So I don't know who
Uh-oh.
did. I read a comment which is kind of funny, and I wanted to expand on
Uh-oh.
it. So someone, when I said I could last a month, with power generation and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
someone said, and it's not something bad, but someone said you definitely have enough power banks to last a month, right? For anyone that's here new, I love solar generators. I review them. I love reviewing them, and I've accumulated quite a few. But in all reality, all I would need for an entire month of being able to sustain those things that are important, electric wise, inside my house, all I would need is this guy right here. This is my OUPES 2400. Okay, not even the new one, not even the OUPES Mega 2. If I only had the OUPES 2400 with one of my small generators, let's say my Honda 2000, that's all that I would need, and I would be able to have enough power for an entire month. You don't, and the reason I'm saying that is because I don't want someone to think that, oh, AP, the only reason that you can take care of your electrical needs or electric needs for a month is because you have all these solar generators. No, you don't need a lot. You just need to have what you need, not necessarily in quantity. Now, I believe that redundancy is good. If you're a prepper, then you know that redundancy is good. One is none, two is one, but I've always said that 27 is better. Okay. But no, you don't really need a lot. You just need a few of the basic things, and you can really last a lot longer than what you may think.
It's almost like you have a hybridized system. You know what I mean? Gas and solar working in conjunction with each other that benefit
It's
each
such
other
a
to having
great
both.
complement to each other.
Mm-hmm.
A gas gener. I always say get a gas generator first. If you do not have a generator, period, make sure you get a gas generator first. You can control how much gasoline you store away, or propane if you have a propane run generator. You can control that. All right. But you cannot control whether the sun's going to come out tomorrow. That you can't control. So if you're going to get a generator, make sure it's a gas one first. And then a solar generator, I believe, is a must after you have a gas generator.
So I was reading some chat, and to add to the last article that we brought up, I copy these and put these together as well. Food won't rot if you rotate your. I know, absolutely, rotation is key. So not only do we have to worry about natural disasters, crime in big cities is run rampant. Look at this. Look at here on the screen. Seattle, Washington has officially broken its previous homicide record in recent history. 70 homicides so far in 2023. The last one was set in 1994, folks. They beat that record. It's crazy that's what's happening in Seattle, Washington. And then you think, well, if let's say you're an FBI agent, you think you're safe, man. You're like, man, I'm an FBI agent. No one's going to mess with me. And this guy was carjacked in Washington, D.C. An FBI agent carjacked in the country's capital, or however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow, that's just mind blowing.
Because there's too many guns in America, man.
Exactly.
If we take away all the guns, crime would go away. Okay.
Oh man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, I saw that and I was just like,
hey, here, I got a good question here. Oh, I've got a great story since you already asked. Ted Beckett, AP, how are you doing on your diet? Ted, I am probably, thank you very much for asking, by the way. But Ted, I am probably the only person in the history of mankind that can't lose any weight on a carnivore diet. All right, but that's okay. In all reality, I probably lost about 30 pounds since I started, and I've stayed there, which is fine because my blood glucose is doing so good, ladies and gentlemen. I actually ate, Gray, I ate some rice the other day.
Uh-oh.
The first time in 11 months and 20 days. 11 months and 20 days, first time that I ate rice. I ate rice with a little bit of sancocho. I ate some yuca, which is yuca root. I ate some, the sancocho has yuca, it has carrots, it had plantains. So anyways, I made myself a regular size plate, which was just a small bowl with everything. And I took my blood glucose before I ate, and it was like 96 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then 1 hour after I ate, I took my blood glucose, it was 111. For me, that is a win, a big win.
That was real nice.
I took it again an hour later. So I took it 1 hour after I ate. It was 111. I took it again 1 hour later, 105.
Wow.
So I was very, very happy, man. And like I said, I ate a good portion. It wasn't a huge portion, but it was very satisfying. And I actually felt a little guilty when I ate that rice.
Your pancreas is starting to readjust to the way it needs to be.
But man, I am so happy. I told my wife, I'm like, I don't care if I lose any more weight. If I don't have to imagine ever having to lose a leg or a toe or a finger or whatever because of infection, because of me being in the diabetic range for so many years, if I don't have to worry about that, I'm good. And I'm more than happy to continue to live the lifestyle that I'm living when it comes to the way that I eat, in order to every once in a while during a special occasion have a meal that is like I had before. That was a regular meal, and I didn't have to worry about any carbs or anything like that, and everything turned out good. So thank you for asking, Ted. Everything, in my opinion, is going really well. The last time that I had my A1C read, it was 6.5, which was not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see it go below 6, but it is what it is. I've done a little bit of research, and there's like different opinions by doctors on what a good A1C is. Here in the United States, the metrics that we use is if you're below a 5.6, so if you're 5.5 or lower, you're average. You're regular. You're not pre-diabetic or diabetic. If you're a 5.6 to a 6.5, you're pre-diabetic. Mm-hmm. And if you're above a 6.5, you're considered a full-blown diabetic. All right. But I've seen charts or gauges of other countries where they say, I think it's in Canada, where they say that as long as you're below a 7, that you're considered normal range. So it's different for some different countries. All I can go off of is how I feel and how my personal blood glucose readings are going whenever I take them. So everything's going really good. Thank you for asking again.
You can do it, brother. I remember when my A1C was in the nines. You know what I mean? 9 point this, 9 point
Yeah,
that. Now
yeah. That's scary, man.
Yeah, I'm more steady. I usually float between a 4.2 and a 4.7.
Yeah, look at that. Nobody says one. If you do OMAD, you'll lose weight. About 90% of the times, nobody. I do OMAD, one meal a day.
Hmm.
About 90% of the time. Like today, I ate twice, but within like 4 hours. So I ate something really small when I went in the house for a break for about an hour, and then I came back to the bunker, and then I left again about 3 or 4 hours later. I went in the house, and then I had me a meal. I had some steak. I had some leftover oxtail from yesterday. I had that before I came here to do the live stream. So I had it's intermittent fasting more so than OMAD, but usually I'll only eat one meal a day normally, but not always. But like I
Yeah,
said, to me, the most important thing is that my quality of life is going to not be degraded because I'm a diabetic. I have no
absolutely.
problem just eating just eating the meat or the high proteins. And usually on the weekends, I do allow myself to do keto. So on the weekends, I'll allow myself to have up to like 20 or 30 carbs per day. But that's it. Once the week starts, I go back to my pretty stringent regime of just eating pretty much protein and fats.
It's it's always complicated. Like I've been stuck at my weight now. When I like I said, I topped out at 410, 415 pounds roughly 6 years ago now. And I've been stuck around that 275 mark for probably the last couple of years. And I can drop a little bit and it comes back and stuff like that. Um, but it's like my body has found a happy medium and it's just happy being there. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about my man boobs, man.
Oh man, look at this. The 49 state says, I sure miss chewing tobacco. Stay away from that stuff, brother. Yeah, that's the hey man, chewing tobacco, man. I used to have a love affair with chewing tobacco when I was in the army. Right? It was a must. You know what, Gray? I had quit chewing tobacco for a really long time, and then the first time that that bullet goes by your head, you're like, give me some of that stuff, man. You're like, if it's gonna end, I'm gonna make sure that I had something that I really enjoyed doing. But yeah, I
Nick,
picked it back up in Afghanistan, and then I lasted years doing it, and then one day, all of a sudden, I was like, I'm done, and I was done, and that was it.
and nicotine is actually nicotine is by itself is not as bad as people think. And some people might like, what are you talking about? I always employ people. I said, look how much nicotine is in a let's say a fried green tomato or a green tomato in general. You'll be shocked.
Really,
Natural
I
occurring
didn't know that.
oxtail. My dad eats it.
Hey, Gray, tell Snakebite how good oxtail is.
Yeah,
So many
it's
people don't know how good it is.
you got to try it. You got to try it at least once and have it cooked properly.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
but eggplants, tomatoes, green tomatoes, you'll be shocked the amount of nicotine that's inside them. It blows people away when I tell them that. And like I said, man, I say, if you don't believe me, you can use the old, computer in your hand to look it up.
Yeah.
And they're like shocked. I'm like, yeah, man. I said, nicotine is a naturally occurring substance in a lot of different things. You know what I mean? And so I always tell people, if you have a craving for nicotine and you don't want to smoke or that stuff like that, or you want to try to quit, maybe eat some green tomatoes, man. I've been smoking
And green
tomatoes for
tomatoes are
years.
very tasty. Yeah, isn't that? Look at I love oxtail. Oxtail is one of the very best meats that there is, in my opinion. You just got to cook it right. It's long, slow and really long, you know, and it's delicious. And you almost don't need any seasoning for it. Like salt is pretty much all you need for oxtail because it's so very flavorful. Well, what do you say, Gray? We're at an hour and 10 minutes. Hello, Mind My Biz. How are you? Low and slow, yes. Who else do we have here? Tom Larson, how are you doing? Good to see you. Who else do we have? How you doing, Laura? Good to see you. Oh, I think we lost Gray. We must have lost Gray, ladies and gentlemen. His internet must have gone out. So look at that. It's pretty much towards the end over here. We'll give it a couple of minutes. If you have any questions or anything you want to share with the community, put it all in caps. We'll give it a couple of minutes. That way, Gray can come back and we can do a proper outro. Although I forgot to upload the outro, so that's not going to work out that great today. Jeff Riffle says, "Let's go another hour." I'm not sure if I can do that. Yeah, it looks like Gray might have lost internet connection like he did the other day. So let's see. Let's see. I'm looking. Well, you do know we are supposed to be having some solar storms right now. I think this last 2 or 3 days we're supposed to be getting hit by some good solar storms. I'm surprised that I've been getting pretty good service because usually up here, if we're getting a solar storm, this is one of the spots I get to pretty good. Yeah, absolutely. Need Queen. Sorry. So usually the only time I have oxtail is whenever I make my daughter's sancocho, which is like a Dominican stew, and we usually only have it once a year, and it's about a 12-hour cook when I make that stew. So it's about a good 12-hour cook, and I'll tell you what, when it's done, it is delicious, but it also comes right off the bone. You don't have to get it off the bone; it just comes right off. It's delicious. Oh, Grint Grace asks, what are the egg prices around here? To tell you the truth, I haven't bought eggs in quite a while. I know my wife got some eggs not too long ago for like Thanksgiving because she was making deviled eggs. But we've been eating pretty much off of our chicken's eggs and we haven't had to get any. And tell you the truth, I don't know what the egg prices are right now. Okay. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Mary Pelletier, how are you doing? Good to see you. Weight loss prepper is here. It looks like Gray is coming back. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez, man.
Did you
I
lose
have,
internet again?
yeah, I don't know what's going on. I checked, everything is hooked up to to power stations. You know what I mean? As backups. So it's not the specific, it's just the Wi-Fi in general, which I have supposedly the best Wi-Fi in the game. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Well,
I don't
man,
even get
I'm
it.
not gonna make fun of you, all right, because I'm just running on hotspot, but I'm not gonna make fun of you because as soon as I do, I'll start having issues. So I'm gonna stay thankful that my hotspot is working well. Let's see. Kathleen asks, why is oxtail so expensive? I know exactly why, Kathleen, because everybody found out how good it is. I remember when oxtail used to be dirt cheap, right? That's because nobody knew how good it was. Now you can get it at restaurants. Now people have a whole bunch of recipes for it. Now people in general know how awesome oxtail is. And that, in my opinion, is why it's so expensive. But in all honesty, if you have never had oxtail, I believe that I have 1 or 2 videos showing you all how I make my sancocho. Man, go watch that video. It's old, it's terrible footage, terrible camera and stuff like that. But you can learn how to make a nice sancocho, right? And the ingredients are not very expensive except for the oxtail. Well, I take that back. The meat is expensive. It takes a lot of meat to make sancocho, depending on how much meat, how many people you're going to serve. But it's a very simple recipe. It just takes a long time to do it. Expect to spend a full day doing it, but very simple recipe, and it's delicious. It truly is.
You're gloating about all this. It's funny. Rudy, do you ever eat picadillo?
Picadillo. Oh, you're talking about like the onions and tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that.
And ground meat and stuff like that?
Yeah,
because that's a Cuban. Well, that's what I had for dinner today. I had some
oh yeah,
picadillos,
that's
some
that's
plátanos
good stuff.
maduro, and I had all the good stuff, man.
I don't like sweet plantains. I prefer my plantains green, and believe it or not, my favorite way to eat them is boiled. I just like to
I'm
boil them and cut them
I'm
in little
Cuban, man.
pieces and eat them with butter. That's my favorite way. And now, Gray, now that I found out that I can have plantain and yuca, and my blood sugar only goes up like 7 or 8 points, forget it, man.
You can't beat that, man.
Oh man, Brenda, how are you doing? Good to see you, and thank you. I see how you are. I just arrived, and well, heck, where are we at? We're at an hour and 15 minutes. Great. If you want to stay on a few minutes more, you let me know. Hey, have we gone through all of our articles?
I have a couple. Let me see. What do I got here? I got 2 articles. One's like interesting. The other one is just poking fun at something.
Well, we can just continue to, power through this. I mean, I'm having a good time just talking about anything.
I just want.
If you want to put something up, throw it up on the screen, and I'll put it up there, or throw it up here, and I'll put it up. But
plus, I thought it was funny because it came from the LA Times too, so I thought it made it even better.
Look at this. Somebody asked, why is oxtail so expensive, right? And I gave my reason. But Tom Larson says because an ox only has one tail.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Let me work my way down before I pop that up, Gray.
Oh, you're fine too. I'm reading the comments too.
You know what? Here, nobody says liquid stevia is a lifesaver. I've been told use some, stevia. They have non-GMO stevia, organic stevia, but I refuse to go back to the sweet. Even if it's sugar-free sweet, I refuse to go back to it because I know how much I like it. And I'm afraid that I will relapse, that I will start, like saying, oh, it's okay to just drink a regular soda, right? I'm just afraid of that. So I won't have any sweets at all, right? The closest thing to something that's sweet that I have is every once in a while I'll have some chewing gum, like calorie-free chewing gum, but not that. But there's a nut mix that they sell at Costco that is kind of like a play on a cereal, but it's all nuts and it tastes like you're eating cereal when you eat it. And it has a little bit of sweetness because they use cashews in it. They put a little bit of cinnamon in it, but no sugar whatsoever. That's the closest thing that I have that's actually sweet in taste. But it just really scares me to eat something that's, really sweet and really tasty and then me want to have it all the time. So I just stay away from it.
Well, I mean, just wait to the apocalypse and then you can eat whatever you want, brother.
Man, when the apocalypse, man, I still have my stash of chocolates and stuff. Forget it, man. It's game on. Right?
Game on, man.
And I'll probably have a diabetic coma, and then it will turn out to be just a glitch in the system. All right, what do we got here? What do you got?
So I thought it was funny because they're pushing EVs. And then the article from the LA Times wrote, electric vehicles have proved far less reliable on average than gasoline-powered cars, trucks, and SUVs. According to the latest survey by Consumer Reports, which found that EVs from 2021 through 2023 model years encountered nearly 80%. That's a huge number, folks. 80% more problems than did vehicles propelled by internal combustion engines.
Well, you know what, man? I'm not surprised. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. All of this alternative energy is not going to replace what we have now, unless there's some kind of a new technology that we don't know about. What we have now, as far as alternative energy, is not going to replace what we have now, unless they take their heads out of the sand and start allowing nuclear plants to be built in a large scale. That will actually benefit us greatly. And there are nuclear plants that can be built that are safe nuclear plants, right?
Absolutely.
Safe nuclear. I think they're made out of some kind of a salt, right? I forget about this. I'm not a professionalist. It's just stuff that I've read. But there's safe nuclear plants that can be built, and that would be a great benefit to us. However, solar panels. I love solar panels. You all know I love solar stuff. Solar panels are not going to replace what we have now, right? And that's just the fact of the matter. All of this green energy thing that's been going on has been a boondoggle, right? It has been a boondoggle to transfer wealth from Western nations to third world countries, to transfer wealth from we, the middle class in the United States of America and other Western nations, to other classes, the upper class. It has been a boondoggle, and we have been taken for. Yes, solar panels are great. I love them, but it's not going to replace what we have now, period. It's just not going to.
My question is why didn't they just stick with the hybrids, gas and solar, that combination?
I think hybrids are great. Yeah,
that's what, in my eyes.
It's like, remember what I was telling you? I told you that I think that a gas generator and a solar generator complement each other greatly. That's a hybrid, right?
Yeah.
It's like a hybrid.
Pretty much.
Car. It's almost like the same thing, So so yeah, I think that those are great. The thing
They just
is
wanted to.
that it's all about money, man. It's all about
Oh, for
money, and it's
sure.
all about power, and it's all about control. That's what it's about. Let's see. These NATO countries have just 3 years to prepare for a Russian attack, Poland warns. Countries on NATO's eastern flank have as little as 3 years to prepare for the likelihood of a Russian attack that could turn them into the next Ukraine, Polish officials warn. So what's up with this, Gray?
So I guess Poland feels that they feel that Russia a lot of people feel that Russia's not going to make it through the whole Ukraine thing. But evidently Poland and some of the other countries out there feel that Russia is going to continue uh, getting ready for World War III. Personally, the way I look at it, they keep on telling it that they need to get things squared away. I think they're talking about closing the largest border, I think, along the
I
Russian
haven't heard
border.
about that. Oh, Poland.
Poland, yeah, Poland's talking about
Yes, I did hear something about
yeah,
that.
stopping all these people from coming in. Poland, I guess, I don't know if they know something that we don't, but they are moving into high gear, trying to warn everybody that hey, you just got a couple more years to go. I mean, maybe they know something we don't in the next 3 years, but they're trying to get NATO on board with this whole thing that hey, Russia is going to attack.
Man, I'll tell you what, Gray, the cycles say that between now and 2030, 2032,
Mm-hmm.
something really, 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 really bad is going to happen, geopolitically speaking. I have no idea what it is, but that's what the cycles say.
We can only
Between and
speculate.
I know that's like 9 years, so that's like 8 years, right? Between now and 2032. But I mean, 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing. 8 years is nothing when you think about it. Look back 8 years, how fast the last 8 years have gone. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's, within 8 years. So between now and 2032, I think things are going to something really super bad is going to happen. For to humanity, not just to one individual country, but to humanity. That's just because the cycles say so, unfortunately. And guess what, though? You have the privilege of knowing this ahead of time. So just get prepared, stay prepared, help your family and friends get prepared. And then
Absolutely.
just fill in the gaps. Once you're as prepped as you want to be, just fill in the gaps. It's that simple.
Well, that's the last of the articles, and this is also pretty much empty.
You're out of coffee, man. Look at it. I want. Hey, next time I'm going to try to run out before you run out. All right.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I got to do all the work next week or on my channel. Crap.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, great. Do you have anything going on in your channel that you want to tell everyone about before we close? Before we close it for the day.
I mean, if you haven't seen my channel yet, go ahead and just take a look and let me know you came over from AP's channel. A lot of people who come over to my channel, like, hey, I watched you on Rudy or AP sent me over. I always like to know that so I can welcome you to the channel. I tell folks, go through the channel, find things you like, look through the playlist. From the reviews to the gardening videos to the pantry hauls, just stuff like that. And if you like it, hang out with the great community from time to time. I've told someone recently that the great community and the AP community are kind of starting to, kind of intertwining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a lot of the same folks in our communities. This week, I think I have just actually a couple review videos of some products that I'm going to be demonstrating and stuff like that. For people that like to watch stuff like that. I love flashlights. I love knives and axes and power stations and stuff like that. So I'm always reviewing that type of product. Other than that, I think
Awesome.
I'm trying to think what else I got. You never know what's going to pop up on channel. I'm going to probably do a solo live stream before Christmas, just kind of, say Merry Christmas to everybody. Maybe I'll have some guests on. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen.
Well, let me go ahead and reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, that this coming Friday, I will be having part 2 of the December Christmas Bash giveaway. This is going to be the part where the things that we will be giving away will be coming from me. And also this year, one community member that made a generous donation. Okay. Please don't ask me to donate. This was something that was sent to me without me asking for it. And by the time I got it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use that as well. But this is from me, from my family, to all of you for all of the support that you've shown throughout the year. Just a second.
I'm setting a notice on my phone now because I want to win the silver.
Okay, there you go. And we will be having a few pretty awesome silver prizes too that I came up with. I wanted to share this with you because Nutrient Survival, okay, they did a little promotion this last weekend. And I also added something to it, and people were kind of like going crazy for it. And I'm not sure if they even have enough cups to give away. So I want to go ahead and show you all this real quick. Now, this promotion is over. I think this is really cool. Nutrient Survival is always coming up with this kind of stuff. So, oh, sorry. So, I think this is pretty cool. This is something that Nutrient Survival came up with. Okay, they came up with this promotion. It's not available anymore. If they have any more of these cups left over, I'd be surprised. But that's not what people were banging down my emails for. They were banging down my emails because I made an offer that anyone who purchased an Alaska Prepper Payday Prep bucket, all right, last weekend and sent me a screenshot of the purchase, with the purchase order number and their name and their address and everything, that I would send them as soon as 2024's Alaska Prepper Silver Coins came out, the new edition, that I would send them one. All right. So if you still want to do that, because a lot of people ran out of time and they were asking me, if you want to do that, all you have to do is purchase one between now and the end of the year. Right. I don't care how many coins it is between now and the end of the year. It'll make Dick happy because he's the one that makes the coins, and he makes a pretty penny off of making the coins. All right. So between now and the end of the year, if you want to purchase an Alaska Prepper Payday Prep bucket, send me the information to this email address right here. Right here, one winner chicken dinner 2@gmail.com. Right. As soon as I get the new coins in 2024, I will send you one. Okay. I don't even know what the coins look like. Right. So it'll be a surprise to you and to me what the coin will look like, because usually I give Dick free reign and he can make it however he wants. And then that's what it is for that year. Right. I wanted to put that out there because, again, I had a lot of people asking. So I was like, this is what I'll do. I'll just open it up for the end of the year. And whatever happens, happens, ladies and gentlemen. But you have a chance to get one if you want to. Obviously, you don't have to. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for today, Gray. Man, time goes by so quick, brother.
It does. It does. Coming down the road, I don't know when Becky's going to reach out to me, but I'm really looking forward to this thing that she's working on, because you're
really?
Yeah, they're very talented.
Don't they come up with the awesomest things? And ladies and gentlemen, on top of that, thanks a lot, Gray. You reminded me. On top of that, I have a website. I have a website,
that's right.
And it is called The Alaska Prepper. So if you go to any of my previous videos or to the description of this video, you will see that I put, please visit my website, my new website, and it is called thealaskaprepper.com. If you type that into the URL, it'll take you right there. It's got all of the videos that I put on YouTube. It's got all of the partners that I'm partnered with. It's got a whole bunch of really good stuff on there. So go check it out. And it's even got an email list. And if you want to get on the email list, it's not something that I'm going to abuse. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to send you 25 emails every day. It's just something that I'll use to blast out an email or blast out a letter whenever something special is going to happen, right? Like maybe I'll do it for this Friday to let everyone know, hey, this Friday at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have part 2 of the Christmas Bash giveaway. All right. Having said that, let's go ahead and close it out for today, Gray. Guess what? I don't have an outro because I forgot to upload it, but we're going to go ahead and outro with the intro. What do you think, Gray?
Just run it, brother.
All right. Well, let me get it down here. Here it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in today, okay? I truly do appreciate, and I'm sure that Gray appreciates us as well. God bless every one of you. God bless America. Be safe out there, okay? And we will see you. What is it that you say, Gray? We will see you on the rerun?
Catch you on the rebound.
Catch you on the rebound. All right. God bless you.